Hello.
Hi, Mary.
At the Mishnah, right? 85.
85b.
Mhm.
Agonev nefesh mi Yisrael. You steal a person. You have to actually bring him into your reshus and work him. Well, the Chachamim say no, and just until you bring him into your reshus. You have to work him. Visamer bo means you have to have him do work for you. Hagonev is beno. Now, your son isn't always in your rishus. So Rabbi Shmuel beno Rabbi Novi Rabbi Machayev. He says you're chayiv. Chachamim poitri. God of Misha Chetzer v'Chetzer ben Chorin. If you steal somebody who's half eved, half free person, Rabbi Yehuda's Machayev, the Chachamim poitrin. Afraid the Gemara v'Tanakama lo boy imur. The Tanakama who seemed to suggest that you just have to bring him into your rishus, so you don't have to work him. How come? The Torah says you have to work him. Amrav Acha b'Rava imur pachos mishaver prutik b'nai. Rabbi Yehuda says they agree you have to work him, but the Chachamim will say you need at least a shava pruta, and Rabbi Yehuda says you won't need a shava pruta. Bar Rav Yirmiyah Ganavo Machro Yoshe. You stole a sleeping person, Mao. Or Machro Isha Le'ubra, you stole a woman for her fetus. Do we say Yesh Derech Imur Bakach? Listen, you can lean a book against a sleeping person. Oh, Ein Derech Imur Bakach. Well, typically the Lek Imur Klal. Maybe we'll learn that you don't require Imur. Lo Tzricha Yoshe and Disgale. You're leaning something against the sleeping person, you're using him. Isha de ukme ba'apezika. You made her stand in the doorway to prevent the wind from blowing in. So you used her. So our question is, derech imur b'kach or ain't derech imur b'kach? Is this stuff of using the person that you can be chayv misa for kidnap?
Sorry, where you holding just?
We are on Pei Hey Amud Beis, Ton Rabbanon, near the bottom. Ton Rabbanon.
Kiyamatse. Okay.
You know that Barry Weiss is not in town.
So people came to your house?
No. So normally there's a circus. So I have so many people coming to my door normally. Okay. But this year it's empty there. Okay. And it's raining. I had no aniyim, not one. I had to drive around. I figured I'm going to drive to Shlomo Yehuda on Alta Vista. I found on Detroit a couple of aniyim. I had to. Otherwise, there were no aniyim because it was raining. It was unbelievable.
It's okay. The aniyim came to my door. I had some.
You had.
Yeah, they came last night to Young Israel with credit card machines.
Really?
I couldn't believe that.
Well, they know what they're doing.
It's their profession.
Yeah.
Okay. The pasuk says that if you steal a person from his brothers, so first, Einli Ela Ish Shagana Isha Minayim. If a woman steals a person, she's also chayav. Talmud Lemer v'ganav ish umcharo v'nintzah biyado mos yumas. So it doesn't. So it includes an isha. Einli Ela Ish Shaganav bein ish uvein ish. So that's a man stealing both a woman or a man. V'isha shagan v'ish, and that's a woman stealing a person. What about isha shagan v'isha minayim? That she's chayiv. Talmud Lemer umeisa kanavahu mikol makom. Any kind of theft. Tanidich kimatze ish goneid nefesh mechav. Echad agonev ish, ve'echad agonev isha, ve'echad ger. Whether you steal a ger or echad eved mishuchra freed eved v'cotton, chayiv. These are all called nefesh. However, ganva v'lo machro, you stole but didn't sell. Machro v'adayin yesh lo b'shuso, you didn't transfer him to a different rishus potter. Machro lo aviv or le'echa, you sold someone to his father or to his brothers. Or le'echa ben akroivim chayiv. Hagonev es avodim potter, because you got to be an ish, not an ev. Tana kamed Rav Sheshes. Amr lo ani shoyneh that Rab Shimon Oimer. You have to remove him from the rishus of the brothers, and as long as he's still in their rishus, you'd be potter. Right? We said, according to Tanakama, that if you sold it to your brothers, there would be chayiv, but he's still in the rishus of the brothers. Tani, you have to change it and say potter. Afraid to go on my kushya. What was the kasha? Dilma, Rab Shimon. And the other brisa was chachamim, lo sakadai, because there's a rule. Dam Rav Yechon, Stam Masnis and Rav Meir. An unnamed Mishnah is Rav Meir. Stam Tosefta is Rav Nechem. Stam Sifra, which is the Medrash on Vayikra, is Rav Yehuda. Stam Sifri, which is Medrash on Bamidbar Dvarim, is Rav Shimon. V'kul Olim Rav Akiva. So you can't say that it's not like Rav Shimon, because Rav Shimon is the author of it. Hagonev Beno. If you steal your son. So the machlok is Chacham Rav Yehuda. My time at Rabbanon, who say you're potter. Am Rabbi Damar Kra. Ki matzei ish gonev nefesh me'echav. Prat lemotz. If it's already in his possession, right? A son is by his father. So there's no chiyuv for gnev. Am Rav Papa Labai Elameyato. Ki matzei ish. Shochev mishabu ulas baal. Right? Man commits adultery. Umesu gam shneim. Hachanami ki matzui prat lematzui. What about Kagon Shal Beis Ploini? There was a certain known family. The Shchichin Gabayim, there were all sorts of married women there. They were prutzos. They were not nizr b'tznius. And Hachanami the patri is because it's matzui. Even if they're committing adultery, that can't be the pshat. Amr. So Abai answered, Ana, I learned from the following pasuk. V'gonesh ifum charo, v'nimtza biyado kamin. Meaning, you have to find him occasionally, not all the time in his hands. A son is in the father's hands all the time. Amr Hilka, Chani Mikri Dardiki. A malamid to kids, umaslu rabbana. And rabbis in yeshiva, it's as if they're always like by the father. They're always like the rebbe. Uptiri, if you steal from them, they'll be potter from, if they steal, the person, they'll be potter because it's in their rishus. God of Misha Chetzio Eved, if you steal a half Eved, Rav Yehuda was Machav Chachamim potter. Tonan Asam, Rav Yehuda Merin Lavodim Boishes. Someone who embarrasses an Eved, there's no payment because he's not a Yisrael. My time Rav Yehuda, who's Machayev, Amar Kra, Ki Natzur Hashim Yachdav, Ish V'achiv, V'karva Ish Esachad Latzil Sisham Yad Makeru, V'shalcha Yadav Echzika B'Mushav. He sort of grabbed him by the testicle. It's an embarrassment. And it says Achiv, Misha Achva. You have Achva with this person, a fellow Jew. But Evet Shein Lo Achva is not in the parsha. V'Rabbanan who say there is Boishes. He's called Echav because Echav will be mitzvahs. And Evet Knani does mitzvahs like a woman, so he shares mitzvahs with the Jew. So therefore, you're chayav for embarrassing him. How does Rav Yehuda darish here? So Sovar Me'echav Lafuki Avodim. The regular Me'echav comes to exclude Avodim, because to say that they're not your Achiv. But then it says Bnei Yisrael. Well, that's already a miud. So that comes to exclude Misha Chetzav Evechetzav Ben Chorin. Then it says Mibnei Yisrael. L'mu'ute Misha Chetz. That again excludes a Misha Chetzav Evechetzav Ben Chorin again. So Hare miud achar miud. You have two miuds. Vein miud achar miud el rabbis. So that's why the Chachamim say you're chayiv. What is Rabbanon me'echav afuki avodim lo mashmalu? The achivu b'mitzvahs. He's not excluded from Israel because the Eved has some mitzvahs. Bnei Yisrael, Mibnei Yisrael is chad lemut Eved. It's one miud, which excludes a regular Eved. It's not a miud achar miud. V'chad lemut mishchetzav Eved chetzav mechor. A half Eved is also excluded. The only reason Rabbi Yehuda says it is included because he learns it as a miud achar miud. Azhar l'gonesh devesh minyan. Where's the lav for stealing a human being? Rabbi Yoshia Omer, when it says in the Aseret Adibros, lo siknov. Rabbi Yechon Omer melo yimachru mimkeres avet. Don't sell him as a slave. V'lo pligi. Ma Rabbi Yishir kachashiv. La bigneva. He's talking about a regular lo signov. Umar kachashiv, the lav of mechira. Because remember, there's two stages to this avera. First, you have to steal the person, then you have to sell the person as a slave. So there's two different lavim. Torah Rabbanon. It says lo signov. Begoin of the fashus lakozim. That's some kind of theft that leads to the death penalty. Because ata we're going to the fashus when begoin of mammon. Maybe lo signov just means stealing money. Amrit no. One of the 13 ways we darshan is davar halamid minyono. We learn from the area. Now, b'mei kosu medaber, lo tirtzach, lo tinaf, those are death penalty cases. So when it says lo signov, it's arising from the same neighbor. That's the concept of davar halamid minyono. So we must be talking about a geneva that there's a capital punishment that's going to a person. Avkan bin Afash. Tanya Idach. There's another pasuk by Gneva. Lo signovu, lo sechachashu, lo sesakru ish b'amita. Says the Gemara begoin of mammon hakos medaber. That's thieving money. Ata I'm going to mammon oinel begoin of nefashos. Amrit tzelamad mishoshes remidor shatoni dreshes b'hen. Dovra lomid minyanu. B'mei hakos medaber. Where is that pasuk of lo signovu, lo sechachashu, lo sesakru? It's in dealing with other money issues. Avkan b'mammos. So this gneva is referring to stealing money. Itmar. Eide gneva, ve'ede mechira. You have two different groups of edim. Two edim that saw him steal the person. Two edim that saw him sell the person. So it's an inyan of nefesh. It's an inyan of capital crime. And shehuzmu. And they were determined to be edim zomim. How do you kill them? Chizki Omer ain't ne'erogim. They're not killed. Rabbi Yochanan Omer ne'erogim. Chizki is Keshitas Rabbi Kiva. The Omar, it says, Al Pishnayim Edim Yakum Davar, Davar v'lo Chatzi Davar. You must give testimony about a whole thing. Here it's a half a thing. 280 on the theft, 280 on the sale. That's called a Chatzi Davar. According to Rabbi Kiva, there's no edus on a Chatzi Davar. But Rav Yochanan Rabbanan, the Amri, Davar v'ilchotza Davar. They hold that you can give edus on a half a thing because they're mitzaref to an edus shlema, and therefore, if they're mezim, if they're made in edim zomim, they're put to death. Umoy de Chizkiya. Be'edim achronim shel ben sor umoyre shenei rogim. Ben sor umoyre is also a two-stage din. There's an initial edus which sees him steal and start eating like a glutton. He gets malchus. And then the second edus where he does it again, then you put him to death. So the second group of edim can get misa. Mitoch shecholim loymar harishonim. The first group of edim can say, La'al koso banu. We are only coming to give him malchus, which was the first part. Hani achrini kulu the bar koy avdilei. But the second group of edim, they are muzam for misa, because their testimony will make him put to death. Maskil Rav Papa, if that's correct, Edim Mechira Nami Liktale, by stealing a person, there's two stages. You steal the person, and then you sell the person. Well, the second people, the Edim for the Mechira Nami Liktale, we should kill them. Mitoch Shechol Edim Gnevelomer, like the original set of Edim can say, La'al Koisabana, we only want to give him malchus, because they came to say he stole the person. Maybe he'll learn that din doesn't get malchus v'itmar, Edi Geneva Benefesh. Shehuzmu. Edim that are testifying about a person that was stolen, and they were made Edim Zomimim. Before the Edim Mechira came. So Chizki Rav Yochanan, Chadam are loikin, v'chadam are ein loikin. They are meaning to stayim ki Chizki Adam are loikin. I'm going to prove to you that it's Chizki, the one who says it gets Malchus. Amar Chizki. Ein rogin. It was Chizki who said they're not put to death. The Rav Yochanan, Kivin to Amar Nerogin, since he says there's a death penalty, Havalei Lav Shenit and Lazarus Mrs. Bezdin. And if somebody that's Mrs. Bezdin, there's no Malchus. Kol Lav Shenit Lazarus Mrs. Bezdin, ain't looking a lot. So it's got to be Chizki that says you do get Malchus. Right? Miyu lo lucky, you know, Echiloku. Because certainly if the guy himself wouldn't get Malchus, the Edom wouldn't get Malchus. So clearly that Rav Yochanan holds that Edig Neva, according to Chizkiah, are Malchus. So then, Ella, Amr of Papa, Be'edim Mechira, the second group of Edim who testify in the sale, everybody, even Chizkiah, agrees that they're put to death because that completes the Edus. Keep Pligi Be'edim Geneva. The first stage where he's just stole the person. Chizkiah Amrei Noaragim. Because Geneva L'chuda Kaima. It's just the Geneva of a person. The Mechira L'chuda Kaima. The Mechira is a separate thing. Two different ideas. But Rav Yochanan are Nerogin. Because Geneva is a Schalta, the Mechira. You can't have the Mechira without the Geneva. So it's the beginning of the whole thing. Moed Rav Yochanan, Be'edim Arishonim. The Ben Sora Moira. The Ben Sora Moira, who initial, they said he stole. That those first Edim that were made Edim Zom ain't Nerogin. There is a din of Malchus that the Ben Sormor is given Malchus if he steals. So the Edim get the Malchus. Rabbi kol moedim Ben Sormoira. Vakol moedim Ben Sormoira. Umachloikas Ben Sormoira. So these are three statements. Hakol moedim Ben Sormoira by Edim Arishonim Shein Nerogin. Everybody holds by Ben Sormoira that the first Edim are not killed. We're coming to give him Malchus, just like the Ben Sor gets Malchus, the Edim Zomim get Malchus. Then the second Edim that he repeated his act when he becomes a Ben Sor, they're trying to kill him, so we kill the Edim. Now the Rishonim could say they came from Malchus, but they are coming for the final adjudication. Then machloikes ben Sormor, but there is a machloikes. What's the machloikes? Shnaim oimrim b'fanenu gana. Two people say he stole. Ushnaim oimrim b'fanenu achal. Two say he ate. So that's this machloikes on whether it's a davar or chatzi davar based on the machloikes in Rabbi Kiva. On Ravasi. Edim mechira b'nefesh shehuzmu. You have the two Edim that testified that the person was sold, and they were made Edim Zomim. Ein Nerogin. Mitoch sheyachol avdi macharti. The guy can claim it was my Eved, and you have no way of disproving that. Rav Yosef, kimanaz lahashmaitz Ravasi Rabbi Kiva. The Omar davar v'lo chatzi davar. It's only half of testimony. Amar le'abayah the ikra banan Nerogin. How could the Chachamim say he is put to death? Hamitoch kamar, the svar of mitoch that he can claim of avdi macharti, it also should get him off. Rather elafilu temer rabbanon, but ubedelo asa edi geneva. There were no edi geneva, only edi mechira. That way, if they were edim zomim, they can't be. He's not going to be put to death, so they can't be put to death. Well, then there's no chiddush. Later on, the Edim came, the first Edim, after the first. So, Akati Maila Memra, still there's no chiddush. When those Edim that testified to the Mechira, there was no Edus of Genevas to make him chayiv. Lo tzricha dekoy meramze remuzi. We saw them sort of signaling each other. The Eidim Rishonim and the Achronim were communicating secretly. So they know each other. So they knew that the Eidim Achira knew that later on the Eidim Geneva would come. So there is a greater testimony. Maybe Maudasema Remiza Milsi, maybe it's considered halachically valid. Kamash Valon, Remiza Lav Klumi. No. Doing these kind of signaling, that's nothing. Does not have halachic ramification. Okay, tomorrow, let's leave this for tomorrow because it begins the sugi of Zokin Mamre. Tomorrow we'll learn in Shul.
What time?
What time?
Well, let's see.
Let me look up what time Mincha is in Gap.
Mincha is probably going to be 6:30.
Let me just look for a second, if you don't mind. Give me 1 second. I'm tired. Mario, how are you, Mario?
Tired also.
We're getting older, you know.
Huh?
Getting older. That's what happens.
Yeah. Let me get up. I have it printed.
I mean, Shabbos, it's got to be 6:30. No?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll find it.
Hello?
Yes. Hold on.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Hello?
I
Hello?
can hear you.
Mincha is at 6:20 in Young Israel.
1 second. Let me just see what time it is.
Shabbos is going to be 6:30.
6:20 in Young Israel.
Relax for a second.
Okay, so let's learn at 5:30.
Let me just tell you. So Mincha is at 6:35.
Right. So let's learn at 5:30.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, yeah. 5:30 or 5:45.
5:30, I think is fine. That way we could leave at 6:15 to make it to shul on time.
Yeah, but Shul is only at 6:37. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. See you tomorrow at 5:30. Good Shabbos.
Chavez. Chavez Walter.
Shabbos, Mario.
Chavez.